Hello again, my dear students. How are you? Ready to start today? Let me tell you first that I'm very happy because I have received a lot of guitars. And that for me is amazing. Now, I'm going to tell you this in Spanish. Porque no podemos mostrar sus caras en el video, ni sus nombres, lo que hice fue agregar unos stickers en los que me mandaron las fotos con sus caras. No es una burla, no es un chiste, es solo para tapar sus caras. Son los típicos emoticones que podemos encontrar en todos nuestros celulares, así que espero que los disfruten. Alright? So, I wanted to see this because they are amazing. So, this is what we did last class. We talked about Monet, and this was the first part that is done. And let me tell you something I didn't tell you. The final result is going to be evaluated, so you have to do it. Esta actividad va a ser evaluada, así que deben hacerla. Las tres partes, the three parts, okay? So remember, evaluate. So start doing it if you haven't started yet. Okay, so now, please, just watch what you have done so far. Let's go. Excellent. Did you see all those guitars? It was amazing. I love it. Thank you for sending me the art that you are creating using your imagination and more. Perfect. So what are we going to do today? We're going to talk about Claude Monet part 2. I'm smaller now. So this is part 2 of the piece of art that we are creating. Alright? And first, we need to talk about a little bit more about Monet. So this is where we are now, second class, right here. We're going to talk about Monet. I'm going to tell you about the painting technique. This is for class 2, because the first time we created the drawing, right? Now we're going to paint it. Excellent. So let's move on. Let's talk about a little bit more about Monet. So we know that he was born in November and all that. And he decided to do the things the way he thought it was the best way, right? So now I'm going to tell you about this. Let's read it. Claude Monet was the first painter in the Impressionist movement. He created the Impressionism. The word Impressionism comes from one of Monet's first painting called Impression, the sunrise. Do you remember the sunrise? I will show it to you. Art critics labeled the painting Impressionism to mock it, para reírse, but the term stuck. So it now means painting with light. So Impressionism, like I said before, is painting with light. Monet liked to paint a series of the same images, with the only difference being how the light fell on the subject during certain times of the day. Okay, so he painted over 30 paintings of the haystacks near his home. So this means that if I'm going to paint the mountains, if I paint them in the morning, the light is going to be different than if I painted in the afternoon. So what he did was to paint the haystacks during the morning, the afternoon, night, evening, etc. So each picture is different because of the light. Okay, do you remember the cathedral I showed you? It was painted in a certain time during the afternoon. Okay, so that is the important thing, the light. Now that we know all this, that he was the father of Impressionism, let me tell you that the impression, sunrise, is how everything started. This was the first painting, okay? So everything, it's this. This is where Impressionism comes from, all right? So Claude Monet, thank you for this. Amazing, amazing. So let me tell you about what Impressionism is. It is a style or movement in painting characterized by a concern with depicting the visual impression of the moment, especially in terms of the shifting effect of light and color. Like I said before, everything depends on the moment, the time that we're going to paint that thing we're going to paint. Okay? So instead of painting in a studio, the Impressionists found that they could capture the momentary and transient effect of sunlight by working quickly in front of their subjects in the open air rather than in a studio. So, like I said before, if I want to paint the mountains, I prefer to be outside, and depending how the light reflects on that is how I'm going to paint it. So that is why Impressionism is so amazing, right? Excellent. So now we know everything about this. Light is very important. So the materials, same as last class. Pencil is not needed anymore. Regular white drawing paper, we have it. Liquid tempera paints, we have them. Brushes, we have them. And imagination. What I recommend here is to have some water as well. Water. Not for you, but for the painting. Okay? So let me show you now what I did. This was the first drawing, right? And now it's painted. So the idea of it is that you can mix colors as well. And you can see here the reflection of the houses on top, right? The colors on the water. And the light outside, it was because I imagine it was like a sunset. Okay, so you can see red, brown, yellow, everything. And remember to add white as well. Now, one of the main things about this, don't be afraid of add water. Just put tempera and add water, and it's going to be incredible, I promise. That is going to change the painting, 100%, okay? So, this is what you have to do. Second part, done. Remember, this is going to be an evaluated activity. Alright? Now, before we finish, Spanish. Vamos a hablar lo mismo en español. Ya sabemos un poco más de Monet. Sabemos que fue el inventor del impresionismo y fue gracias a esa obra que era del Sunrise, Impression Sunrise, ¿verdad? De ahí viene todo, de ahí viene este movimiento. Y principalmente de lo que se habla en el impresionismo es que la luz es lo más importante en el momento en el que estamos pintando nuestras obras. Si vamos afuera, como decía, y pintamos una montaña, depende de cómo la luz le llegue en ese momento a la montaña, es como yo voy a pintar mi obra. Como dije ahí, Monet pintó sus haystacks, que es esta paja que es para alimentar a los animales, el heno. Entonces él la pintó muchas veces porque todo dependía de cómo llegaba la luz en ese momento. Un día la pintó en la mañana a las 8 de la mañana, por decir algo, después a las 10 de la mañana y la luz ya era distinta. Entonces hay muchas pinturas de lo mismo, pero con la diferencia de que la luz es distinta y por ende generaba una pintura diferente. Ahora, lo que tenemos que hacer, voy a retroceder aquí, es pintar nuestra obra de arte que hicimos agregando colores. Obviamente tratando de usar la técnica del impresionismo, viéndola, imagínense o vean hacia afuera y vean qué colores hay en ese momento y pinten su obra usando esos colores. Recuerden usar blancos, distintos tonos, etc. No se preocupen de los detalles, porque eso, con el último detalle que vamos a agregar, puede que desaparezca. Agreguen blancos, el reflejo de los edificios en el agua, el cielo, que a mí me encanta, yo lo hice relacionado a un atardecer, y no tengan miedo de aplicar agua. Cada vez que yo pintaba, untaba mi pincel en agua y agregaba agua a la pintura. Agreguen un poquito de pintura y agua. Y van a ver cómo cambia al 100%. Yo acá tengo mi pintura, no se puede ver bien porque tengo mi fondo verde. Pero un poquito de pintura, agreguen agua y vean cómo va a ir cambiando el color, la técnica, etc. No tengan miedo del agua. Lo secan un rato, vuelven a pintar otra parte. ¿Ya? Una vez más les vuelvo a decir que esta actividad va a ser evaluada, que no se les olvide, recuerden que son 3 partes, la primera hicimos el dibujo, ahora estamos pintando y en la tercera vamos a agregar algo que falta en esta obra de arte para que sea una muy parecida a la de Monet. Espero les haya gustado, I hope you had liked it and see you next class. Remember, this activity is going to be evaluated, so do it properly and do it and use your imagination. That is the most important thing for me. Alright? Good? I am Mr. Chasta. This is, again, Monet, part 2, and this was art. Bye.